Hey people, just stop for a moment. We're kind of in the middle of, good on the wind. Oh yes, wonderful. Just stop for a moment. We've got to move some stuff around. Getting some new carpet and painting inside, and new kitchen and stuff like that. So you have to take the Chevy out. He's going to have to sleep outside for a little bit and put the cover over it. Move almost everything we got into the garage so that the carpet can get put down, and that's well, once you've saved up 19 years worth of stuff, it becomes a bit daunting. Anyway, while I was going through all the stuff and some of the stuff we're moving around, I come across a couple of things that brought back a few memories, and I'll show them to you. And it's what I don't know, I'm calling it old versus new. Pretty new, alright, new technology. It's that's a CD. That one actually I think is a DVD of Drags, a Compact Attack Western Sydney drag strip. Okay, that's a recording. Here's something that kind of shattered me a little bit, and I'll just I'll grab the camera down. I'll just show you something. You know who that guy is? There he is. Thomas Edison, Henry Ford's mate. And it's I should put that there, it might be easy enough. And I actually found this under my granddad's house up in Brisbane. I don't know, probably early 60s. I was probably 5 or 6, and I ended up taking it to school for show and tell. Unfortunately, something happened to it then. But Edison Amberol record, the Edison reel. This is what they call a blue wax, and it's really brittle stuff. And whilst we were at school with the show and tell, I'm guessing that plenty of people do. One of the kids dropped it. Check that. Check that out. And it is a record. It's an Edison reel. I don't know if you've ever seen them before. As you can see, the grooves in there. Something here has got, there we go, got some writing on it, and I did look that up, and I kind of think that was sort of like 1912 or something like that, because he did these blue Amberol wax things from 1902 to 1908 or something. Oh no, yeah, 1908, and then from 1908 it went to the blue Amberol, which is this one. Yeah, but that's pretty shattering. That. I'm almost wondering whether I can get some CA glue and glue it back together. That might be a good wet weather indoor project. Yeah, and it was dropped when with the lid on, so yeah, you never know. There's lots of bits I'm not going to be able to stick back in, but yeah, that's the way it goes. And I'll just clean it up, and I'll go on to the other thing I was going to talk to you about. Yeah, so I was pretty shattered about that. Not as shattered as that Edison reel. The other thing is more newer. Alright, this is an N14 Pulsar that I'm driving around, which is not a new car by any means. It's a 94 model with not many kilometres on it. It's my mum's car. And I'll just give you a look at this that I found you know, people get instruction manuals, and they tell you all sorts of things, you know, blah 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 blah, you know, how to start the car, and blah, you know, all the instruments. And many people don't read this stuff. But when I was a kid, my dad had a book, and he wasn't a mechanic in any way whatsoever. He was a musician, a really good one at that, and he was just shit with motor cars. I can't say anything else about it but that. Anyway, we had a customer come in a little while back, and he brought me in this. As you can see, they're very thick pages, and very yellowed pages, and it's give you a look at that. The Practical Motorist's Encyclopedia by this character. If you googled that, you'd see more about it. Now I'm not exactly sure when this one was actually printed, because there's a couple of pages missing out of it, which obviously for whatever reason. But this guy found this book at a garage sale at a person's house, and I don't know whether you guys may not have read any of these other things that this guy was responsible for. Encyclopedia of Popular Mechanics. You know, he's quite a smart guy. But I love this book because I started reading this when I was about, and it was this particular, not this particular book, but the same issue from the same character. You know, with all that stuff, and you know, massive print from the back in the day. And this is where I learnt how to work on motor cars. This is awesome. It tells you about big end bearings. I read this thing. I used to read it to my dad. You know, when I had to do something, I'd read it to my dad, and that will give you an idea on how old it is, because this is telling you about, you know, timber framework, you know, primitive front ends, you know, it goes right into it. This is what I consider to be the biggest attribute of my trade. And I just think it's a great old book, you know, and I think if there's anybody ever came across one of these and they knew somebody that didn't have a clue on what anything did, it gives you all the terminations and all about that stuff. How to repair tyres, how to do valve adjustments, how to, you know, their overhead valve engine, of course, there, and you know, different tools and different things like that. Just some real great old stuff, and yeah, I just found it amazing. It's got, you know, all different tables of threads, decimal equivalents, and I did look up when this book was published, the era. You know, wire and sheet metal guides, and it was somewhere around. Look at this. How we go? This. That was fairly new car back when this was published. But it tells you all sorts of things. It's awesome. And there's more knowledge for a guy that doesn't know anything, or a girl that doesn't know anything. There's more information in this book than you'll find anywhere else if you had no idea on what was what with a motor car. So if you ever come across here, it shows you how to rebuild your differentials, how, you know, your armature windings. You know, it's an awesome book, The Practical Motorist Encyclopedia. And I remember seeing my dad having this thing out all the time, and he'd try and work things out. And man, well, you know, by the time I went to school, I was pulling lawnmowers apart and you know, all sorts of mechanical things. But they just thought, oh, let him pull it apart. Let him pull it apart. It'll be all right. You know, entertain him. He's quiet. And yeah, little did they know. So yeah, that's just a couple of things there. This old book. She's a beauty. Ever come across one of them in a garage sale or something like that? Have a read of it. Just have a flick through it. Awesome stuff. So yeah, a couple of new things, newer things, you know, CD as opposed to the Edison reel. And not many people read their bloody instruction manuals for their cars. I get so many people saying, oh well, I didn't know it had one of those. I said, well, haven't you got an owner's manual? Oh yeah, well don't you read it? Oh no. Geez, they stick them in the glove box, have a read. This is a better read though. Alright, well, I'll get back to moving stuff around. I've just stopped for a quick sherbet. Yeah. And yeah, got to get back into it now. But yeah, I don't know. I reckon it'd be a pretty big task to reassemble this bastard, I think. Yeah. Well, you never know. You know, we get a wet day. Well, we've had lots of them, but you know, not too many where I am. But you don't know. It might be an interesting thing. A bit of CA glue and see what happens. Anyway, have a good one, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Cheers.